What up, Ralph Ladies? Welcome back to my channel. Here we are back on the East Bank Bypass Road. That's the road coming north, right, heading north. And this is the side that's heading south. We're now in the village of Rome, Georgetown, Rome, Guyana. And we just came through Sage Pond. Now this is a new commercial complex being built here off the highway, off East Bank Bypass Highway. As you can see, as the billboard says, there is warehouses. They're building warehouses that can be leased all along this highway, and there's some warehouses that have already been constructed. But this here is supposed to be a commercial complex. Like I said, this reminds me of the area of Ontario, Canada, north of the 401. But back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, there was very little development north of the 401. So a lot of Ontario, Canada, north of the 401 looked like this. If you were to drive from Toronto to, say, Kitchener, past places like Guelph, you'll see that between these community centers, of population centers like Mississauga and Guelph, there was just a whole lot of vacant land. And that's what this area looks like right now in 2023. It's now being developed because of this highway. Now that is the commercial complex that they're constructing with parking lots and stores and so on. So a lot of these units are going to be occupied by commercial stores, as I've shown in the previous video on their billboard at the front of the lot. The entrance is a number of store names that are already up there. Names like the Home Store. So a lot of hardware stores are going to be in this location, and I suppose they're going to build these lots, these buildings, all along this fenced off area. So that's the development that's taking place off the highway here in Houston, or Rome. That's a new name. New name of this community is Rome, and the one beyond is Sage Pond. So this is Rome, Georgetown, or Rome, Guyana. We're going to take a look at what else is being developed along this highway. It's about 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. So this is Wednesday morning traffic in Georgetown. Traffic that's being diverted off the East Bank. In other words, before this highway was built, most of the traffic here would be on the East Bank Road. So guys, I'm giving you a little taste of what is happening, the developments that are happening. It does feel a little exciting to be looking at pristine land that is now being developed, because in a few years all of these areas that are vacant are going to be covered with buildings, with hotels and restaurants and shopping centers and shopping plazas and shopping complexes. So this is what it looks like now. So it's good to be able to capture what this area looks like now before it gets transformed by development. As we approach Houston, so Houston Estates was Gaisuko's farmland for sugarcane, and this area has retained that name. Houston is the billboard, as the sign says, coming up there. We're entering Houston. We're just going to take a short diversion on this access road see what else is being built in this neck of the woods. Now, in the previous video I explained that Sheriff investors are building a shopping center and a hospital in this area, so a lot of the land development, the earth moving machinery is here to do that. But already on this side, what is this, another warehouse? There's already some construction being done. So that is a warehouse, it seems, for one of the major, what is it, earth moving machinery companies. I have to assume, because that's what is prevalent in this neck of the woods. There's guys moving earth and building a road. So this is going to be an access road, as you can see. An access road being built here. It continues, I guess, on the other side. But eventually we'll go all the way to the East Bank Road. Right, that's the East Bank. This is what's being built here. They're building an access road. They're using some warehouse facilities that are already constructed in this neck of the woods. I guess they're building this drainage system and drainage canal. And I guess what would be called collectors, comparing it to the Canadian highway style. So guys, this is what's happening in this neck of the woods. It's a lot of land preparation and land development that is occurring. And on the other side, we've seen, as we came down David Rose Street, we can see that there is a lot of commercial development. All right, heavy machinery sales companies. This one is called Gene Equip is a company that sells earth moving machinery, apparently. Maybe sells and leases. And this is the construction that's happening here. On the side of the highway. We're about a quarter of a mile away from the end. That is the Mandela Avenue end of the East Bank Bypass Road. We've seen some of those neighborhoods in the past, right? That is, at the end of this road is South Rambert Gardens. And what they're building along this section is the 4 Points Hotel. I can barely see the sign, the billboard for the 4 Points. 4 Points Hotel is being built there. The Sheriff Shopping Center and Sheriff Hospital are also planned constructions on the same side of the road here, east side of this East Bank Bypass Road. And so in future, all of this land is going to be occupied by commercial buildings and commercial companies on both sides of the road. Beyond that, I suppose they're going to be housing development. Because, as I showed in the previous video, a lot of the land west of this highway is required by private housing developers, and they're building gated communities. So that is apparently what is in the future for this area, this neck of the woods in Georgetown, Guyana. the fastest growing country in the world with GDP growth of about 50, north of 50%, 50-60% per year. But this is what that growth looks like. It looks like new roads, new shopping centers, new housing developments, new shopping complexes and commercial complexes. There's some cameras, I suppose, looking at the highway at this section, probably looking for speeders. Alright, traffic cameras. And that's where they're coming from. In Houston. So that's it, guys. That's what's happening in this neck of the woods. Before the development of this land, you can see what it looks like. And I will keep you up to date on how things are progressing, how these new homes, these new buildings are going up, being constructed, and what they look like when they're completed. We've already followed the construction of the Marriott Hotel from start to finish and the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center from start to finish. We're also right now tracking the development of a number of hotels. The Best Western Hotel on Robb Street and Oronoque Street, and the new Courtyard Marriott at Tamari Airport Complex, the new AC Marriott in Ogle, and so on. Lots of hotels going up all around the country and lots of these housing developments. This is what they look like, and we're showing you the progress as it's being completed. Here's where they're building that new Sheriff complex, the shopping complex and the Sheriff Hospital. As we approach South Roundabout Gardens, this is another access road that they're constructing. But over here is the location for the Sheriff General Hospital and the Sheriff Shopping Center, shopping mall. And that's what it looks like at this stage. Still, I guess the foundation is still being constructed. And beyond that is the Four Points Resort that's being constructed in this neck of the woods. As the billboard says, there is the billboard that shows you what is being constructed. And Sheriff Construction tells you who's constructing these buildings in this neck of the woods. So this is it, guys. This is what's happening in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about this neighborhood that is now opened up to construction because of the highway. We've seen in the last couple of videos the extent of the highway construction. And in this video, I'm showing you what's happening on the side. On the side of the highway, as new houses or new developments are being built. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana, and at Houston, the fastest growing economy in the world. Later!